And that is why I will be. Is it audible? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And this is one of the difficult papers I know for you. I will be discussing all important things in this paper. I am assigned 4 classes for this paper. I will be discussing about them. The first class is about introduction of statistics, as it is used in psychology. First of all, we use statistical tools to analyze our data for the purpose of conducting different types of research. That is the best use of statistics in psychology. Most of the time, we depend on statistics in order to make our relevant conclusions about from our research data. And in research, when we use statistics, basically we can classify it into 2 categories, 2 types of use. You can say you have 2 types of use of statistics in research methods. One, descriptive statistics, and the other one, inferential statistics. Now, descriptive statistics are very important aspects of the use of statistics, like whenever we are interested in some group, specifically some group of people, then we can manage our research findings, manage our conclusions with descriptive statistics. For example, someone asks you, how are the students you are teaching in the class? Or what are the level of these students in your class? There, you cannot just say anything and everything about each of the students. There are, supposing 50 students in the class. You cannot say student 1 is like this student is like this, that student. There you have to give something which is the summative answer to each question. Do you get my point? Supposing there are 50 students in a class, someone asks you, inspecting officer asks you, how are the students in the class? You have to give a single unanimous opinion kind of thing, a general opinion kind of thing. Then what you do, you try to inform the person by saying, by working on the average or the mean, supposing about the mathematical ability. And you find that their mean is around 50. Then you say that the students in the class are mostly average students. And you are using a descriptive statistics in order to convey your message. Similarly, there are also other kinds of descriptive statistics which are largely useful for communicating things about a group, specifically a group. Now, what are the other kinds of descriptive? That that is also there in your course. The descriptive statistics are like this. Some of them are called measures of central tendency. And those measures are like the mean. Mean is a very definite, very systematic and very good measure of central tendency. If there are 100 students in a class and you want to communicate some general feeling about them, you just remark on their mean. That is whole thing. The other person will get some idea about the students in the class. Similarly, there is also another measure of central tendency which is called the median. And median is a kind of central tendency, as defined, is a kind of central tendency below which there are 50% of cases and above which there are 50% of cases. Supposing in a class there are 50 students, you can say the person who is in 25th position, he serves as the median person. And by saying about that person, you can also convey in some general way about the standard of the class, standard of students in the class. That is a median. Median is also a good appropriate measure of central tendency and used in some definite situations. And similarly, another important measure of central tendency is that it is mode. Mode means the most frequently occurring value in a distribution. What is that? Supposing in a class there are 50 students and 10 of those students have secured 40 out of 100. And that is the modal value because many of them have secured a particular value. and that will also indicate about the nature of the group. You can say that there are out of 50 students, there are 10 students who have secured 40, and therefore this is the mode, and mode will also represent the group. These are the three basic fundamental measures of central tendency. You can express or you can interpret, you can explain a group or a group of individuals about their performance, ability, skill in terms of their mean, median, or mode. But mean, median, and mode are not always the best thing to indicate. Sometimes we also get some kind of erroneous information only from the mean. Supposing, let us take that I say there are 50 students in the class and the mean is about 45. I say that 45 out of 100 is not a good performance, and therefore the students in the class are very poor just by looking at their mean mark. But it may so happen that there are some 6 good students in the class who have secured more than 80%. And there are also very bad students in the class who have secured only 9 to 10 or 15 out of 100. And the mean is, in this case, the mean is not the true representative of the group. Some very good students, we call it extreme scores or outliers in the score. When there are outliers in a distribution, do you get what is outlier? Anybody? Anyway, I will give you time to ask me. These scores are called outliers. When there are many outliers in a distribution, the mean, median, mode, or any measure of central tendency is not a good representation. Therefore, we have to take other kinds of help in order to make our implications, understanding about a data set very scientifically and efficiently. And those are called measures of variability. Alongside the measures of central tendency, measures of variability are also important parameters in order to study, understand, and explain it. What are those measures of variability? Measures of variability are like this: range, average deviation, quartile deviation, and standard deviation, and variance also. What is the range? And how it indicates about a group. Supposing in a class of 40 students, the lowest score is 70 and the highest score is 85. This is the thing about one class. And in another class, the lowest score is 10 and the highest score is 65. Now these two different situations can be explained by their range. 65 minus 10, 55. In one class the range is 55 and in the other class the range is 10. When the range is more, we can expect that the people in that group are more variant. There are more differences. There are good people with good ability and there are also people with very low ability, poor ability. But when the range is less, we can say about the group that they are almost similar kind of people in that group. That is how we estimate things about a group from range. Similarly also we can estimate things from average deviation. What is deviation? Deviation means to what extent the group deviates or varies from its mean. Mean to kette durere, that is the average of that distance gives us an estimate about the deviation. And more the deviation, higher is the group heterogeneity. Jete adhika deviation hobo, ame jani paribu je group bhitere sete different level no pila achନ୍ତି. Jodi eka dharanara saman ability ro pila thibe tale deviation kam hobo, jo deviation ho, average deviation ho, range ho, quartile deviation ho, standard deviation ho, sabu kami jibo. Jete group bhitere adhika difference ro pila rahibe sete deviation bodi jibo. Then we can estimate the measures of variability about a group along with measures of central tendency. Ei dita jetebale ame gote group bisare pai jibu, tar measures of any measure of central tendency and any measure of variability that we require, jota amar darkare, ame jodi pai galu, we can explain the group scientifically. Se group ro sei variable upare मनकर इंटेलिजेंस रो गोटे वेरिएबल आमे नेलु आमे गोटे ग्रुप रो मीन जानिलु स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन जान then we can say this group रे केमिति प्रकार रो इंटेलिजेंस रो पिला अछन that we can describe scientifically and those are called the descriptive statistics only when you are interested in one group and you want to explain that group. Similarly, another aspect of descriptive statistics are also graphs, diagrams, charts, figures. These are also different aspects of descriptive statistics. आमको गोटे ग्रुप विषय जाने को हम खाली तार मीन रो ग्राफ कर देलु आम जानि परिबु ता तेनु ग्राफ डायग्राम्स फिगर्स measures of central tendency and measures of variability are descriptive statistics. And when this now I say that when we are interested in understanding about a group, we can use descriptive statistics to our help to know about the group. But it is not always the kind of thing that we are only interested. आमे केवल गोटे ग्रुप विषय रे जानिबु एटा हमर सब बेलर इंटरेस्ट नै अनेक समय रे हमर वी हैव द इंटरेस्ट लाइक दिस दैट वी नो अबाउट सम पीपल एंड देन कैन एक्सटेंड आवर नॉलेज टू अदर सिमिलर ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल मने करो आमे जानिबा पे चाहूछु ओडिसा रे चतुर्थ श्रेणी रे पढुथिबा पिलांकर इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज रो स्टैंडर्ड कोन Supposing you want to know what is the standard of English of class 4 students in Odia medium schools in Odisha. This is what we are interested. Now, what is the process? How can we know it? It's a very Herculean task. It's a very big task. Means we cannot know something if you are interested. Then our population, that is called the population. Class 4 students of Odia medium schools all over Odisha. This is our population. Means which may be around 6 to 7 lakhs. Do you get my point? 6 to 7 lakhs people are our population, are our target, and we are interested in them. And it is not possible by any way to contact them, to get information about them, to test them, to do anything about them. 7 lakh pilanka bishaye 6 lakh pilanka bishaye kono koriba टेस्ट करिबा जानिबा ताकर तांको पचारिबा बुझिबा एटा सब बेले संभव नुई नॉट पॉसिबल एट ऑल बट आवर ऑब्जेक्टिव इज दैट वी वांट टू नो अबाउट देम देन हाउ कैन वी डू दैट एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज द अदर पार्ट ऑफ द स्टैटिस्टिक्स inferential statistics that is that there are provisions in statistical methodology which will help us to find out the truth about a population, a very large group from a representative small group. आमर से जो चतुर्थ श्रेणी पिला अछंती 6 लाख तांको विषय रे जानिबार आवश्यकता जदि अछि ताले आमे 7 लाख 6 लाख पिला को नै कोनोसी बटे जानि परिबु नाही तनो हमु कोन करियो पड़िबो वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट ए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ग्रुप ऑफ देम सेही 7 लाख 6 लाख पिला को रिप्रेजेंट करूथिबा बा तांको ताकर गोटे स्मॉल ग्रुप आमे बाछि एवं जो प्रोसेस रे से स्मॉल ग्रुप बचा जाए the way that we get a sample that is called sample these 6 lakhs of children are a population it is called our population and the representative group that we will be taking from them supposing we take 500 of them then that is our sample we can say that we are selecting a sample of 500 and in order to select that sample we have different statistical processes which are called sampling techniques বা sampling methodology आमे केमिति नबु मन इच्छा आमे नै परिबु नाही मन इच्छा आमे नेले 500 we cannot adequately defend ourselves that this is the representative group then how can we take a representative group that depends on scientific methodology called sampling here is our population and here is our sample and we select that sample by some specific sampling methods or technology sampling process and now we get a sample out of 6 lakhs we have 500 now we can do our work our activities our test our interview whatever we like we can do on web on these 500. That is feasible. That is possible. We can do that. But once we get the data, we only get the data from a group, not from the population. How can we say getting information from 500 people? How can we say about 6 lakhs of people? That is what is the miracle of statistics. That is what is the miracle of inferential statistics. There are different methods of inferential statistics where you can get estimates about population from sample statistics. And samples and basic thing are here mostly are this is some measures of variability and measures of central tendency. The way that we go to population from the sample, the basis is measures of variability and measures of central tendency. आमे गोटे sample रो mean आउ standard deviation पाइला परे, median standard deviation पाइला परे, median average deviation पाइला परे, we can extend it to population. That is what is inferential statistics. 50 जन विषय रे जानी 5000 विषय कहबार जो scientific technology, scientific methodology, and that is called inferential statistics. This is the first very beginning of statistics, descriptive and inferential. Descriptive are basis and inferential are the predictive function of statistics. 5 जन विषय जानी 50 जन विषय कहबार जो skip. Now, when we come to inferential statistics, it is not like any magical prediction. It is not a magic. It has also based on scientific assumptions. It has also scientific basis to say. I cannot just say whatever I like to say. I have to be scientifically guided about that. What is that scientifically guided process? When we come to think of inferential statistics, the book that you are having, the inferential statistics have 2 categories. One, parametric statistics, and the other one is non-parametric statistics. The parametric statistics is also otherwise known as distribution bound statistics or distribution relevant statistics, distribution related statistics. And on the other side, the non-parametric statistics are distribution free statistics. What is that? What is distribution bound and distribution free statistics? When we are supposing to say something about a large population from the result of a small group, आमको जने पचारिबो तमे ये लोकटाकू देखुच या विषय रे एया जदि जानिलो या भाई विषय रे कहि परिबो कि ता भाई केमति हेतिबो आमे सेठी कहि परिबो काना वी हैव ए साइंटिफिक प्रेडिक्शन इन टर्म्स ऑफ जेनेटिक एंड कल्चरल इनहेरिटेंस. डू यू गेट माय पॉइंट? तेनो आमको किछि वी नीड सम सोर्स ऑफ अप्रोच in order to use or in order to get inference from a small group of sample. गोटे sample रो गोटे population विषय रे inference करिया कहले हमको किछि link दरकार. And that link is called assumptions of parametric statistics. The link that are established between group and sample and population are the assumptions of parametric statistics. The first assumption, I say that the distribution free. The first assumption of a parametric statistics is that the variable that we are interested, or the variable that we are trying to understand, must have certain distribution in the population. Population रे से variable रो distribution टा गोटे definite nature रो थिबा दरकार. এবং সেই definite distribution one of the definite distribution is normal probability distribution. One of the best distribution nature is normal probability distribution. An example হিসাବରେ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି, supposing you want to know the intelligence of some students and you studied the intelligence of a group of students in a class and you want to generalize that from that class to a similar group of population, larger population. ତେଣୁ intelligence କେମିତି normal distribution ହେଇଛି population ରେ? Intelligence is distributed in the population normally. Normal distribution ତମର ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଏ ତାର ଅର୍ଥ ଯେତେବେଳେ when a variable is distributed in such a way that it looks like a bell-shaped curve. That is, supposing intelligence, very very highly intelligent people, ଆମେ ଯଦି 10,000 ଲୋକଙ୍କର intelligence ମାପିକିରି ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରାଫ ତା ଉପରେ ଡ୍ର କରିବୁ from their score, how will the graph look like? It will look like a bell-shaped curve. କାହିଁକି ନା 10,000 ଲୋକଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଏକଦମ extremely genius ଜଣେ କିମ୍ବା ଦି ଜଣ ମିଳିବେ, extremely mentally retarded বা profoundly retarded ଜଣେ କିମ୍ବା ଦି ଜଣ ମିଳିବେ, ମାନେ moderately retarded 15 ଜଣ ମିଳିବେ, specifically intelligent 30 ଜଣ ମିଳିବେ। এইଭଳି ଆମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖି ଦେଖି ଯିବୁ 10,000 ଲୋକଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ maximum କିଏ ମିଳିବେ ନା those who are average in intelligence। 68 ଭାଗ ଲୋକ ମିଳିବେ those who are with the middle line, average intelligence। mean to plus minus 1 standard deviation ଭିତରେ 68% ରହିବେ। ତେଣୁ if you draw the nature of the curve, that is a normal distribution। ତେଣୁ this is a curve status which can help us to know, predict from a small size of sample to a large group of people, and inferential statistics are largely based on this distribution curve probability, normal probability curve. The basic, the foundation, the theoretical model on which the inferential statistics are based is a normal probability curve. Although there are other distributions which can also be helpfully possibly used about inferential, but students of psychology should know that human variables, most of the human variables are normally distributed. Therefore, we are more interested in the normal distribution curve, and that way inferential statistics. But when these conditions, and another condition, another assumption about inferential statistics is that it must fulfill the conditions of measurement. Whenever you are using certain variable, we are expressing it in terms of measurement, in terms of numerical values. Intelligence, supposing I say intelligence is 80, IQ is 80, means I am expressing in terms of a numerical value. Simply any variable is expressed in terms of a numerical value. And that numerical value in psychology, particularly in behavioral sciences, can be expressed in 4 different ways. Those are called different measures of variables or scales of measurement. What are those scales of measurement? Can anybody supplement? Scales of measurement.
Nominal scale. So it's about nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale.
Yes, thank you. Now, let me just introduce that scale.
So, sir,
yeah. Anything you want to?
Sir, in parametric statistics, yes, sir. So when we use the parametric statistics, the scale should be in interval scale. Am I right?
Minimum, yeah, minimum. I'm telling that. Minimum interval or ratio. What is that minimum I am telling? Now, parametric statistics, that there are 4 types of scale: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. What is a nominal scale? Supposing I say male, if you are a male, write 1. If you are a girl, write 2. And if you are a third gender, write 3. 1, 2, 3. Does this scale has any direction? Does it say that 3 is better than 2 and 2 is better than 1? No, it doesn't say like that.
No, sir.
No, 3 is not this scale. If this is the scale, male 1, female 2, it can be interchangeable. If I wish, I can say no, third gender 1, male 2, female 3. That can also I say. Therefore, this scale does not provide any direction of difference. Similarly, also, when we understand in our common context, 2 is twice 1 and 3 is thrice 1. Right? If someone is having 3 rupees, he has 3 times money than someone having 1 rupee. That is that. I can say the third person has thrice money of the first person. But here, can I say that 3 times 1 male is third gender is 3 times greater than male? That also I cannot say. Therefore, nominal scale does not have any direction of difference, does not show any magnitude of difference. Tar magnitude nahi ki direction nahi. That is what is nominal scale. It is just a scale for scale purpose. It doesn't have any direction or magnitude. Similarly, next higher scale is ordinal scale. What is ordinal scale? Ordinal scale, someone is first in the class, someone is second, someone third. A is first, B is second, C is third. If I ask you the question, who among them is better? Your answer must be A. A is better because he is first or she is first. And who is next best? B is next best. Therefore, you can know the direction of difference among the group. Someone is better, someone is less better, and someone is poor. But if I ask, how much better is A than B? Can you say me? No, you cannot say. How much better is B than C? You also cannot say me. Therefore, you can know in ordinal scale, you can know the direction of difference, but not the magnitude of difference. That is what is next best scale, ordinal. And the next is interval scale. Now, what is your prediction? In nominal scale, there is no magnitude, no direction. In ordinal scale, there is magnitude, there is direction, but no magnitude. Then what could be interval scale? Anybody? Nikki?
It has both magnitude and direction.
Naturally, it should have both magnitude and direction.
And is equidistant from and has a equidistant.
No, that I will tell. Interval scale has both magnitude and direction. Means, supposing A has secured 67%, B has secured 65%, and C has secured 50%. Now you can say A is best, B is second best, and C is third best. You know the direction. And then, if I ask whether A is better than B or B is better than C, you will say yes, B is better than C, because B has 65%, C has 50%. The difference is higher. Therefore, you can understand both magnitude and direction in interval scale. But interval scale is also lacking in some skill. What is that? It has no.
So it has not absolute
Yes,
zero.
that is the thing. Interval scale does not have an absolute zero. What is that absolute zero meaning? Supposing in psychology test, A has secured 67%, B has secured 65%, and C has secured 0%. Does it mean that C is absolutely nil in psychology knowledge? Say psychologist telling me no. But she has got 0 or he has got 0. Then sometimes 0 does not indicate. I say that the person has a 0 height. Then it is a question mark. What is 0 height? 0 is never a height. Someone cannot have a 0 height. Therefore, this is a wrong expression. But on the other side, if say that C is having a zero figure, does it imply any meaning to you? Yes, it implies zero figure is something meaningful. Therefore, here in these two terms, one is absolute zero and the other one is not absolute zero. And finally, the ratio scale. And the ratio scale has two more things beyond this interval scale. What are those two more things? Those are absolute zero and equidistance in the scale. Now, what is equidistance? Supposing someone has got 30 in mathematics and another boy has got 60 in mathematics. If I ask you the question, जे 60 रखिछि से तार मैथमेटिक्स ज्ञान 30 रखिथिबा पिलार ठीक 2 गुण की? Can you say yes? जने 30 रखला जने 60 रखला 60 रखिथिबा पिला 30 टू बेटर एक कथा हम जानि पारु किंतु तार एकदम ज्ञानर ठीक 2 गुण बेसी नहे कि कम नहे that we cannot say. Means the scale is not equal. मनकर जनक पाखे 60 टंका अछि जनक पाखे 30 टंका अछि आमे कहि परबे ता पाखे द्विगुण पैसा अछि किंतु मैथमेटिक्स रे 30 रखिछि 60 रखिछि ता ज्ञान 2 गुण आमे कथा कहि परबे. That means the scale is not equidistant. बुझि परछ ना? तेनु इंटरवल स्केल रो इक्विडिस्टेंस नहीं कि जीरो एब्सोल्यूट जीरो नहीं किंतु रेशियो स्केल रे एब्सोल्यूट जीरो अछि एवं equidistance अछि. Now, my question to Sumitra, what is the scale of temperature? Temperature को scale रहती है?
Sir, interval.
Interval. काहे interval?
Sir, zero temperature is.
Yes.
Sir, zero temperature is exists na?
There is something called zero temperature. Even minus temperature is there. Then that is what is. When zero temperature exists, it's in interval scale. Now, I told you about scaling. Now about parametric and non-parametric tests. When the scale of measurement is minimum interval, ratio is better. But at least it has to be minimum in interval scale. Then
Sir, sorry
yes.
to interrupt, sir.
Yes, anytime.
Sir, nominal scale has a direction but no magnitude.
Nominal scale does not have anything. It doesn't have direction, doesn't have magnitude. Ordinal scale has a.
So when we say male and female, so we get the direction that there is a distinction between the two genders.
It means direction of difference. When I say male and female, can you say male are better or female are better?
No.
No. What is the direction?
So nominal scale does not has anything. Ordinal scale has a direction but no magnitude. Then interval scale has both magnitude and direction, and ratio scale has magnitude, direction, equidistant, and an absolute zero.
Yeah, that is it.
Thank you, sir.
Clear? Now, when we are supposed to use parametric statistics, we must assume that one assumption I have already told you. That is not, it has the variable must be normally distributed. And the second assumption is, the important assumption is that the scale of measurement must at least be interval. If it is not interval scale, then we cannot use parametric statistics. Now, the question is, if we cannot use parametric statistics, then our only choice is non-parametric statistics. It's not always that we can be able to meet the assumptions. सबु जगह रे हमें ये दीटा का assumption meet करी परिबु ये संभावना बेले बेले आसे नहीं. बेले बेले we are limited in our conditions so that we cannot fulfill these both assumptions. In what do we do in that case? we have to go for non-parametric statistics. Naturally, our selection of non-parametric statistics is a process of default. मते जदि गोटे जिनिस न मिलला ताले म बाध्य होकर आ गोटे जिनिस को मते एक्सेप्ट करिया पड़िबो दैट इज बाय डिफॉल्ट जदि बाय डिफॉल्ट म गोटे जिनिस पाई जानूची ताल नेचुरली तार स्ट्रेंथ कम वीकनेस तेनु parametric statistics are definitely more powerful instruments than non-parametric statistics. But non-parametric statistics are also very robust statistical processes which has been helping the researchers to solve many kinds of issues. Non-parametric je durbala boli ame taku mane we are not supposed to kick it. No, it's not like that. Those are also very, very useful statistics. Now I said you about what is descriptive and inferential, and then what is parametric and non-parametric. Now the thing is, parametric coiling course answer jauchi parametric, non-parametric, descriptive, inferential. Achha, some of the tests that you know about parametric tests are like t-test, correlation, product movement correlation, ANOVA, regression, multivariate. There are also multivariate statistics. Those are like that. Similarly, there are some non-parametric statistics like sign test, Mann-Whitney test, Kroskal-Wallis test, median test. There are some other kinds of things also. Now, the next thing that I am going to describe about is descriptive statistics. I have already told you descriptive and inferential, and organization and classification of data is there. I am not going to say a lot of things about this because this is all your knowledge in +2 and degree level, +2 level. These are all things, kinds of chemistry data. Next thing I am to tell you about graphs. Although I know that these are all intermediate things, let me say something about graphs. In psychology, we have 4 different kinds of graphs being used. Bar diagrams. Line graphs. 4 different kinds of line graphs are being used in psychology. One is called the frequency polygon. Let me tell you, when we have data about certain things, we can organize those data into a format called grouped frequency distribution. आमे 300 पिलांकर डाटा पाइलु से डाटा को आमे इंडिविजुअली हैंडल न करिकरी statistically we can organize them into a kind of distribution, scientific distribution, which we call frequency, grouped frequency distribution. You must be knowing केमिति करा जाए डाटा गोटे क्लास इंटरवल आसीबो क्लास इंटरवल रे फ्रीक्वेंसी आसीबो तने एमति हेग्रा हम गोटे डाटा फ्रीक्वेंसी टेबल हम बाहर कर पारी एवं we can use that frequency table in order to find out several kinds of things, statistical calculations. हमको पढ़ाई छि आगुरु ना नहीं frequency table केमति हबो केमति प्रिपेयर हबो पढिछ ना नहीं?
Yes, sir.
तेनु frequency
Yes, sir.
कोन पचार anything that you want to ask. वर्तमान 2 मिनिट पे जे जहा पचारिबा पे चाहूछ पचार. Sumitra, do you want to ask me anything?
No, sir.
No. Padmini, do you want to ask me anything? Padmini, do you listen to me? Acha. Anyway, now, frequency polygon, histogram, cumulative frequency curve, cumulative frequency percentage curve, और OGB कहूँ. 4 प्रकार ग्राफ हमको जानिबा दरकार. What is cumulative? What is frequency polygon? Polygon is a graph which represents the midpoints of the class interval in the x-axis and the corresponding frequencies in the y-axis. आमे जदि midpoints class interval रो midpoints को x-axis रे नेलु एवं तार प्रति क्लास इंटरवल रो जहा फ्रीक्वेंसी अछि ताकू y एक्सिस रे नै कि गोटे ग्राफ ड्रा कलु That is called a frequency polygon. And it's a line graph. Similarly, ଆମେ ଯଦି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭାଲର ରେଞ୍ଜ ମାନେ ଅପର ଲିମିଟ ଆଉ ଲୋୟର ଲିମିଟ ୟାକୁ ଏକ୍ସ ଆକ୍ସିସରେ ନେଇକିରି ୱାଇ ଆକ୍ସିସରେ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଫ୍ରିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସି ଡ୍ର କଲୁ ଇଟ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଇଣ୍ଟୁ ଏ କାଇଣ୍ଡ ଅଫ୍ ବାର ଡାଇଗ୍ରାମ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ବାର ଡାଇଗ୍ରାମ ଆସିବ ତମେ ନିଜେ ପଢିକି ଦେଖିବ ବାର ଡାଇଗ୍ରାମ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ଏ ହିଷ୍ଟୋଗ୍ରାମ ତେଣୁ ଆମକୁ ଯଦି ପଚରାଗଲା ପଲିଗନ କ'ଣ ନା ପଲିଗନ ଇଜ ଏ ଲାଇନ ଗ୍ରାଫ plotted on the midpoints in the x-axis and frequencies in the y-axis. Similarly, what is a histogram? Histogram is a bar diagram plotted on the range of the class interval in the x-axis or limits of the class interval in the x-axis and frequency in the y-axis. Similarly, we have also cumulative frequency graph. Cumulative frequency means when you cumulate the frequency, supposing our class interval है 10 ରୁ 20, 20 ରୁ 30, 30 ରୁ 40 like this. 10 ରୁ 20 रे frequency ଅଛି 3, 20 ରୁ 30 रे frequency ଅଛି 5. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ cumulative frequency କରିବୁ 10 ରୁ 20 ରହିବ frequency 3, 20 ରୁ 30 ରହିବ 3 plus 5 ସେମାନେ 8. ତାପରଟା ମାନଙ୍କର ଅଛି frequency 7, ତାହେଲେ 8 plus 7 15 ଉପରକୁ add ହେଇ ବଢିଯିବ. That is called cumulation of a frequency. Cumulation of frequency माने तल lower level रू frequency की जदि आमे cumulatively add करी करी पळेबू that frequency distribution is called cumulative frequency distribution. एबो आमे जदि कोनोसी ग्राफ को एगुडा को मने रखता कोटा कहा ऊपर प्लॉट हो cumulative frequency रे अपर लिमिट ऊपर ग्राफ ड्रा करा जाए अपर लिमिट ऑफ द क्लास इंटरवल मनकर 10 ରୁ 20 हमर क्लास इंटरवल अछि ताले से क्लास इंटरवल अपर लिमिट हला 19.5 20 ରୁ 30 अपर लिमिट हला 29.5 से बेला 19.5 ऊपर हमें जदि तार क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी देकरी प्लॉट कलु द ग्राफ that becomes a line graph and that line graph is called a cumulative frequency curve. This is the third type of graph that is being used in psychological presentation. Similarly, there can be also a fourth type of graphs, fourth type of curve, which is called cumulative frequency percentage curve. Previous one is called cumulative frequency curve. Now it is called cumulative frequency percentage curve or OZ. What is done in OZ? OZ is done plotted on the same upper limit of the class interval, but the cumulative frequencies are expressed in terms of a percentage. मनकर आमर cumulative frequency अच्छी 2, 5, 7, 13, 15 एमती एकरी the topmost cumulative frequency is 50 50 ताले आमे कोन करिवो से 50 टा को 2 गुण कर देबो 100 तेनु ता तळटा आदि 48 अछि सेटा 96 हबो तालटा आदि 40 अछि सेटा 80 हबो तेनु आमे ताको कन्वर्ट कर देबो टू परसेंटेज एवं आमे जदी क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी परसेंटेज को नैकिरी एपटे अपर लिमिट नैकिरी एक्स एक्सिस रे वाई एक्सिस रे परसेंटेज को नैकिरी गोटे ग्राफ ड्रा करिवो दैट बिकम्स ए क्यूमुलेटिव परसेंटेज फ्रीक्वेंसी ग्राफ एवं परसेंटेज फ्रीक्वेंसी ग्राफ रो हमर अलगा स्टैटिस्टिकल कैलकुलेशन हेई पारिबो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड so these are the four types of graphs you are supposed to know about them what are they and how are they constructed and what are their kinds of uses with this I covered graphical presentation of data. Now inferential statistics, descriptive statistics. Next comes hypothesis testing. A unit 1 रे जहाँ जिनस अच्छी about the IGNOU courses. I am telling them. Next comes hypothesis testing. Now, आमे जानिले descriptive statistics कौन, आमे जानिले inferential statistics कौन, आमे जानिले graphs कौन, এবং parametric statistics কোন non parametric statistics কোন বর্তমান ইম্পর্টান্ট কাম আসলা ଆମେ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଜାଣିବାର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା କଣ କଣ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଜାଣିଥିଲେ the important work is to make hypothesis testing ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ପଚାରିବି ତମ ଭିତରୁ ଯେ ହେଲେ ଜଣେ ତାକୁ ଉତ୍ତର ଦେବ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସରେ 60 ଜଣ ପିଲା ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ 40 ଜଣ ପୁଅ 20 ଜଣ ଝିଅ मैथमेटिक्स रे किए बेटर पुओ बेटर ना झियो बेटर सुमित्रा मैथमेटिक्स परीक्षा हला
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm unable to hear you. Can you repeat the question,
repeat the
please?
question गोटे क्लास रे 60 जण पिला अछंती 40 जण पुओ 20 जण झियो मैथमेटिक्स परीक्षा हला किए बेटर
Sir, maybe boy, maybe girl.
maybe boy maybe girl no answer maybe but this is hypothesis maybe when you say maybe you are suggesting a hypothesis right maybe the hypothesis is the thing that is not
Yes, sir.
then you are suggesting a hypothesis then what is hypothesis when in fact you don't know and you suggest maybe like this that is what is a hypothesis hypothesis is something by which you do not know exactly and now in order to test this hypothesis what you can do मैथमेटिक्स मार्क नहीं करी कौन कले व्हाट यू कैन फाइंड आउट अबाउट द हाइपोथेसिस किए बेटर मो प्रश्न रो उत्तर कौन दे परिबो निक्की वर्तमान मु तुमको पचाली ये प्रश्न उत्तर समाधान तुम केमिति करि परिबो वो बेटर ना जे बेटर
So we will use statistics, maybe parametric statistics or non-parametric statistics.
पैरामीट्रिक आकिन पर्यंत पैरामीट्रिक जाय काहे जाउछो हम पूरा गोटे ग्रुप भीतर पचारु की ताको मीन देखितले जानि परिबो
Yes, sir.
वर्तमान पे पैरामीट्रिक कथा मु करे दी वर्तमान मीन दिटा देखितले मानकर पुओंकर मीन हला 37 झियोंकर मीन हला 32 के बेटर
Boys.
boys better so this is a situation which is called hypothesis now you take the hypothesis whether boys are better or girls are better and now you have to take two statements one statement what is that there is no difference among boys and girls and this is what is called null hypothesis you may also expect that je tang bhitere kichi tafat no thai pare and when you make a statement like this there is no difference you are making a null hypothesis similarly you can say one maybe boys are more better two maybe girls are better these three conclusions are these three premises are there there is no difference one hela there is boys are better than girls two hela girls are better than boys nahi and out of these three the first one which claims no difference is called a null hypothesis I'm explaining hypothesis the hypothesis that claims no difference is called the null hypothesis and is represented by H0 hypothesis is zero hypothesis the null hypothesis and the other two whether it is boys are better or girls are better the other two represent research hypothesis by alternative hypothesis hela then any hypothesis testing means there has to be a null hypothesis and there has to be alternative hypothesis or one alternative hypothesis dita ka possible kono dita ka possible mu mane kara aguru jo mane research karichanti all of them are saying that boys are more intelligent than girls supposing I'm not telling anything about girls supposing they are saying now let me say girls are more intelligent than boys they are saying like this now you are trying to verify what will be your alternative your alternative hypothesis will be one only girls are better than boys either they are same or girls are better. There is no possibility of the second hypothesis. In that situation, it is only one single research hypothesis. When there is one research hypothesis, that condition of research is called one-tailed test. When there are two research hypotheses or more research hypotheses, that condition is called two-tailed test. When the possibilities are both sides, it is two-tailed. When the possibilities are one side, it is one-tailed. This is about hypothesis and nature of hypothesis. Hypothesis by definition, it is a presupposition about the result, about what can be, or it is the maybe part of the research. Maybe, it may be. Similarly, there can be two types of hypothesis: null hypothesis stating no difference, research hypothesis stating the exact difference. Then comes the next, I tell you, then comes level of significance in hypothesis testing. Another important concept, very, very important concept, level of significance. What is that? Level of significance means in behavior, it is more relevant in behavioral science research. Behavioral scientists believe that whenever we are trying to conclude anything, say anything from research, find out anything from research, in no point of time, we must be that confident to say, yes, it is 100% true. Supposing I found girls are more emotionally intelligent than boys. But then are you sure? Then yes, 100% sure. Means I am not a true researcher. A true researcher has the limitation of the belief that nothing is 100% true. And that is what is scientific thinking. A scientific thinking always limits a person to just find limitations even in his or her best thing. And this limitation, hypothesis testing, when we say level of significance, means we have to admit certain kinds of error. We are given that liberty, that you are allowed to do error. But is that mean that we can do 50% error? Tamku freedom diyagala, yes, you can move. Is that mean that you move in the dead of the night? No. Similarly, the researchers are given some freedom and to about level of significance. And we usually, conventionally, that is 0.1 and 0.5%. 0.01 and 0.05 means ତମେ ଯାହା କରୁଛ ତମକୁ 1% error allowed. ଯଦି 1% error ଅଛି ବୋଲି ତମେ ପ୍ରମାଣ କରିବ, not more than 1%, ତାହେଲେ ତମକୁ କୁହାଯିବ yes, you are right. ଯଦି ତମେ କହିବ 5% error ଅଛି ମତେ ତମକୁ ଛାଡ଼ି ଦିଆଯିବ। ହଁ ତମେ ଯାହା କହୁଛ ଠିକ, ତମକୁ ମାନି ନିଅନ୍ତୁ। 5% ରୁ ଯଦି ଅଧିକା error ହବ, then you are not supposed to be accepted. That is what is the limitation being fixed by the research community on any research, behavioral research. 5% percent you are allowed. Now, and that is what is called level of significance. Now, by this term, if you have 5% error, yes. Supposing you say girls are from your finding, you say that your research hypothesis is accepted, and you claim that your error is less than 5%, P is less than 0.5, then you are accepted. Yes, whatever you have done is the right thing. But at the same time, there is also a kind of controversy about this level of significance. What is that controversy? What controversy is there about level of significance? That is, supposing you, let me tell you a factual situation. Supposing a doctor claims that he will be able to cure COVID-19 patients, and having, let us, COVID-19 is controversial now, let us say about cancer patients. A doctor claims that he has developed medicine to cure cancer patients. And how can we prove his efficiency or prove his medicine talent of medicine. Let us send 100 patients having critical conditions in cancer to him and see how many of them are being cured. And we find that out of 100%, the doctor cures 30%. 30 জন ভালো হয়ে যাচ্ছেন। ଆମେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଜାଗାରେ ଦେଖିଛୁ ଯେ ମାନେ ଟର୍ମିନାଲ କେସରେ କ୍ୟାନ୍ସର ପେସେଣ୍ଟ ଜଣେ ଭଲ ହଉନାହାନ୍ତି, ସେ କିନ୍ତୁ 30 ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଭଲ କରିଦେଲା। ତାର ଏରର କେତେ ହେଲା? 70% ଏରର। 100 ଜଣରୁ 30 ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି ଭଲ anything you want to ask? 100 ଜଣରୁ ଯଦି
No, sir. I'm telling that the error is 70%.
error is 70%. But whether you are going to give credit to the doctor or not, ସେ କ୍ୟାନ୍ସର ଭଲ କରିପାରୁଛି ନା ନାହିଁ?
Yes, sir. The first.
Yes, sir.
କାହିଁକି ନା 100 ଜଣରୁ କେହି ଭଲ ହଉନଥିଲେ, ସେ 30 ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଭଲ କରିଦେଲା। Now he is being credited. Here the level of significance is challenged. Even there is 70% error, even P is greater than 0.05, we have to accept. ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଆସୁଛି, ଏଥିରୁ ଦିଟା ଟାଇପର ଏରର ଇମର୍ଜ କରେ। By fixing up the level of significance, we have to face two kinds of error. One is called type 1 error and the other one is called type 2 error. So fixing up level of significance is always an important consideration because there will be error. What is type 1 error? What is type 2 error? Type 1 error hela, supposing you are saying that girls are emotionally more intelligent than boys. This is your research finding, but there is some truth. Truth is never changed by your research. ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କହିଲି research କରିକିରି, that is not the truth. Truth is there in the nature, there is the system, there is the substance. ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଝିଅମାନେ ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଥାଇ ପାରନ୍ତି, ନ ହେଇଥାଇ ପାରନ୍ତି, that is what is the truth. କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ whenever I am discovering a truth, and if that truth is actually not the truth, in the reality it is not the truth, I am committing an error. ତେଣୁ ଯଦି null hypothesis is true and I am not accepting that, I am going for the research hypothesis, I am committing an error, and it is type 1 error. And when null hypothesis is false, but I am trying to say it is true, I am committing another error, it is type 2 error. Therefore, there are two kinds of simultaneous error in our research. If we do not conduct the research in a right way, in a right perspective, that is why research designs, powerful research designs are created in order to solve our problems and in order to see that there is no type 1 or type 2 error. We are actually reaching the truth. That is what is type 1, type 2 error. Now, for today, I have a call. Let me attend to that call. Now, is it I'm communicating? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
You
for
are able.
today, I think this first part is nearly completed. Hypothesis are told, and one thing is only power of the test. Power of the test is 1 minus beta. I will be telling that, and rest of the things we will be discussing. Any question you want to ask me? Anybody wanting to ask any question?
No, sir.
No. Then for today the class is over. We will be meeting some other day. Tomorrow we will be meeting tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank
Thank you.